Hey guys, welcome back to the Workplace Apprenticeship 20 videos. In this video, we're going to look at lesson 4 from chapter 2, which is talking about circle graphs. So just as a quick note before we jump into our example, if you guys are still a little bit unsure of how to draw circle graphs, I will include a couple videos on how to draw circle graphs. That's just using the playlist QR code that I gave you at the beginning of your handout. So this here is example number 2 from your notes. The following circle graph shows how many people in Maxine's office building get to work. There are 350 people working in the building. So part A asks, what percentage of people walk to work and how many people is this? So here we're looking for the percentage and here we're looking for how many people in total is this. So here when we're looking at our circle graph, one thing that's going to be really important is to use this little key or a legend off to the right here. That there's going to be probably your best friend when working with circle graphs because it tells you which parts of that circle graph belong to which type of transportation. So in this case here, our question wants to know what percentage of people walk to work. So we're looking for the people that walk to work, and that is the fully shaded in black section of your graph. So here we're looking at this little black area, and here right above it is our percentage. So we know that 3% of people walk to work. So if we want to know how many people this is, what you're going to do is you're finding 3% of the total population, which we know from the beginning of the question was 350 people. So to find out how many people, we're finding 3% of 350. So from there, what we're going to do is we take our percentage as a decimal and we multiply by the number of people. So remember, our percentage as a decimal, you're going to divide by 100, which moves your decimal point 2 times to the left, and input that little placeholder 0 there. And so we should have 0.03 as our percent as a decimal, and then times it by the number of people, which is 350. When you put that into your calculator, you would find that this is 10.5, and we know that we can't have 10.5 people, so what we can do is we can just round up from there and say that this is 11 people. You can't have half of a person, so just round up is fine. So make sure you answer this part with a sentence, so you could say 11 people walk to work. Okay. Now let's scroll down to see part B. So part B wants us to consider those people who carpool, walk, or bike. So is this more or less than the number of people who take public transport? Then we want to know how many people more or less is this? So what we have to do is we have to figure out how many people either walk, carpool, or ride a bike. Then we have to figure out how many people take the public transportation. So step number 1, let's find out how many people there are that carpool, that walk, or ride their bikes to work. So let's look back up to our circle graph. And as what we're going to notice here is that the number of people who carpool, walk, and bike, this isn't just one section of the graph. This is 3 different sections. So what we have to do is we have to add up those percentages in order to find out how many people there are. So here we're looking at how many people carpool. So that's our black section with the dots in them. So we have 9%. Then we have the people who walk to work, which was 3%. And then we have the people who ride their bike to work, which is 5% here. So to find that total percentage, we're just going to add up 9%, 5%, to 3%. So we'll take 9%, add it with 5%, and 3%. So what we're going to do is here we're going to find that total percentage and then use that to find the number of people. So if you add that all up together, what we should find is that we will get a total of 17% either walk to work, carpool, or ride their bikes. So from there, we're going to find 17% of that total population, which was 350 people. So remember, turn your percent into a decimal by moving your decimal 2 times to the left. So we should have 0.17 times it by 350. If you put that into your calculator, what you guys will find is that we get 59.5, and then just round it up to 60 people. So that means that 60 people either carpool, walk, or bike to work. Then what we can do is find out how many people take the public transportation. So let's go back up to our circle graph and see what percentage of people take public transportation. So that one here is the one with just the diagonal lines, and that one there is 22%. So what we're going to do is we're just going to find 22% of 350 people. So let's first turn that percentage into a decimal by moving your decimal 2 times to the left, or dividing by 100. So we should get 0.22, and we're going to multiply that by the number of people, which is 350. Put that into your calculator, and we should get exactly 77 people. And now we can use this information to actually answer the question. And here they want to know how many more people or less take public transportation. So here we have more people taking public transportation. We have 77 people compared to 60 people that carpool, walk, or bike. So now let's figure out how many more people take public transportation. So what you're going to do is take the number of people who take public transportation, so take 77 and subtract 60. And if you can do that in your head or put into your calculator, we should find that this is 17 people more take public transportation. And now our last step here is to answer this with a sentence. So here they want to know how many people carpooled, walked, or biked to work. So we could say 60 people carpool, walk, or bike to work. And then we could say this is 17 less than those who take public transportation. So as soon as you've answered that with a sentence, you guys are all good to go. And so just as a recap, just remember, if you guys are having some troubles with learning how to actually draw a circle graph, please go back and check that playlist for at least 1 or 2 videos that show how to draw a circle graph. So if you guys have any questions, please come see me in class or text me on Remind 101. And thank you so much for watching.